Hey, I am Veronica Isles, and I'm so happy to be with you. We are doing a live show on this wonderful day. So, what are we going to talk about? You get to pick the topic. If you are new to my live shows, I do them often. You can ask any question you like, and I'm here to give you some free coaching and free help. And I'm here to help as many people as possible and talk about whatever topics I feel most guided to spread the message for. Okay, so learn more about me at studywithveronica.com. Get my free course there, 10 Days to Manifesting Miracles in Your Life, a free MP3, all sorts of free goodies. And I can't wait to help you. We do have some specials at dreamlifebyveronica.com. The 25-day challenge coaching, email coaching with me, will be expiring on Wednesday. It will not be brought back. And I think there's a special for the self-love transformation as well. Oh, thank you. A compliment on my skin. I appreciate it. I'm not wearing any makeup. Well, I have a little eyeshadow on. I actually lost my makeup. So all I've been putting on in these shows is I've just been like smearing on some eyeshadow and a little lip gloss because I can't find anything else. So I appreciate it. Okay. What are we going to talk about? Who would like their question answered first? As I adjust the camera, we'll talk about manifesting your best life ever. That's what I'm here to help you with. And, well, nobody has a question yet. So I'll just sort of talk about the first things that come to mind. Troubleshooting your manifestation. That's always a really big one. I do want to say it is possible to manifest anything. And the reason why circumstances don't matter is because circumstances are created. And if everything is created, then you just simply kind of tune into a new frequency and create something brand new and fresh. But again, it's not necessarily created as it is revealed. All of creation is finished. I want to put myself in the energy to attract a provider husband. I like that. So not just a husband that's gorgeous, but a provider husband, someone that's going to take care of you. So here's what I would do to attract a provider husband. At first, the first thing I would make sure you're not doing is putting men down. Like a lot of men aren't the provider type. Let's not complain about how so many men suck. They don't have really good jobs. They can't take care of me. Let's look at the examples of men that are, provider husbands. You could even look into, I don't know, men in the old-fashioned times. I don't know, like in the 1940s or something, where men were more mature in a sense, if that makes sense. They wanted to provide, like they wanted to take care of the woman. I mean, I know things have changed a lot in society since then, but the point being is more of like a provider type, a nurturing type. So you want to feel very safe. To attract this type of person, I would be ready to, be taken care of. Not that you can't do your own thing too, but sort of this idea of safety, protection, relief, if that makes sense. My SP said he's completely moved on from me. Any advice? Well, definitely don't repeat the memory of your SP saying that he's completely moved on from you. Instead, can you remember a time when this person wanted to be with you, or a time when you felt wanted, needed, valued, and loved? Because, well, first of all, I think he needs to apologize to you. For saying that he's completely moved on from you. Obviously, that must have hurt, and you wouldn't be wanting to manifest him back if there weren't good times that were shared. You don't want someone back in your life because it was all bad times. You want them back in your life because you shared good times too. So I want you to come up with a memory of when you could tell that your person really wanted to be with you. Or you could even just imagine a scene that implies this. And I don't want you to get so fixated on your specific person that you've sort of lost all value in life. I want you to fall in love with yourself in an unconditional way. I want you to sort of give yourself all of the experiences right now that you are expecting him to be giving you, your specific person. Like a lot of times people want a Specific. SP, we'll just say SP. Specific person, SP, because they're going to shower you with affection, attention, make you feel good, all these things, but you can actually give yourself all these things right now, and you should be. You do have to sort of say, "I matter, I have value." So waiting for this person to give you all of these experiences, you'll just always be waiting, and he's always going to be moved on from you. If you want him to miss you, connect with the best parts of yourself, present a new version of you, one that is confident, secure, amazing, knows they can command anyone. And in doing this, you may find that, well, he's not good enough for you. Or you may find he comes back, or you may find both and you're rejecting him. But in any case, you'll be powerful and you will be the best version of you. Yes, I'm a traditional Catholic. See, I was on the right sort of train of thinking. And I think that it's a very lovely thought to have someone take care of you, to be taken care of, to feel safe at night, like someone like you don't have to do the heavy lifting. I think that that's just a feeling of relief, a feeling of safety. And it's interesting because even the other person that asked the question, that's a feeling of relief and a feeling of safety too. It's interesting because any sort of thing that you want to manifest, it's because there's currently a lack of it in your life, whether it's a person, money, looks, whatever. It means you don't currently have it. So if you had it, you'd feel a huge sense of relief and safety. So it's really just the same for any manifestation. If you can connect to these feelings, you don't necessarily have to envision the scene that you want with this person. It'll honestly come by default. And I like that multitasking manifesting because you never have the time to form resistance around one particular subject or one particular person. Like if you just find yourself just wanting to manifest a specific person, it's like you can become so obsessed with where is it and just focusing on that. Whereas if you can feel relief, calm, safety, satiation, things that make you feel your best self, then your entire life is going to get better, including your love life. So why wouldn't you want to take the route where you get everything instead of just one area of your life fixed and then work on another area? That seems very inefficient to me. Hello, Veronica. You are beautiful. Thank you. Wow, there's a lot more questions. Okay. Thank you for the energy and spirit. Yes, that is another reason why I do these live shows is because connecting with me, especially if you're connecting with me live right now, it brings an energy, it brings a feeling, it brings a shifting to the way you see life, the way your day is going. Like maybe your day just got so much better right now. So I really think that I hope I can inspire you, especially from learning through everything I've been through and how I've overcome so much and continue to level up my life with every single day. It gets better. And I want you to do the same. I want every single one of you to do the same. And in fact, I form the intention right now that anyone who is watching is going to get their perfect life, their dream come true. And it's going to be easy. It's going to be so wonderful. And then all of you are going to inspire others to do the same. And then the world will become a better place. Okay. How can I manifest more money? Manifesting money, I wouldn't necessarily think about receiving money. I would think about spending the money. Because I don't know, a lot of people when we want to manifest money, the first thought that comes to a lot of people's minds is I want to win $5 million at the lottery. I don't know, just picking a number, but like you want lifelong wealth. Like $5 million really isn't enough to last your whole life. And why does it have to come from like a lottery winning? Why can't you be compensated for your special talents? So, in manifesting more money, I want you to first admit that money can come from anywhere, anywhere. Like it can come from the strangest places that you never even guessed. And this is where you want it to come from. You don't want to pick and choose how it comes because you want to be open and available to receiving it from any avenue. And then you also want to connect with the best version of yourself. Like what are things that excite me about, doing good in this world? And what are the talents of mine that I can really let shine? Because a lot of people suppress those things in favor of a more sort of traditional job. And I want to say, don't limit your idea of how much money you can manifest by how much of a raise you think you're going to get at work, or what kind of job you think you're qualified for. Just envision spending the money on a type of lifestyle that makes sense to you. So it's not necessarily that you're trying to manifest, a $10 million mansion with a 12 servants or staff rather, I guess, yeah, 12, like, people working for you, waiting on you hand and foot. Like, I don't know. Just a comfortable lifestyle where you can pay for everything that you want, you live in a place that makes sense to you, but manifest from your heart's desire, not what you think a rich person should have, but what you actually would be happy with. Because I feel like things manifest faster when we get in touch with what we actually want, not from limitations and not from extravagance. It's just like for no reason, but actually what our heart truly wants. How to manifest getting a lot of income, enough to live above how I live now by having my own business. You can definitely have your own business. It's interesting to say that when I started this current business that I have right now, well, it didn't really start as a business, but it ended up becoming a business and then my primary and only job. But I did start businesses before. I did try to start businesses, lots of them, and none of them worked out. If any of them worked out, it was temporarily and then they just crashed down. Um, Nothing ever really worked out for me until I saw myself as being able to offer tremendous value to people and for people to actually want what I had to give to them. I think my other businesses didn't work out because I was kind of timid and really didn't believe in myself. So, a belief within yourself that you deserve the highest and the best, and that people will actually whatever you have to offer in your business, it's someone else's manifestation, like, they are manifesting you to provide this. So, have more belief within yourself, and that's not being conceited, that's not being self-centered, that isn't wrong to think, you don't need to be humble or otherwise you're a bad person. Like, don't get a big head, but think a little bit more of yourself than maybe you've been giving yourself credit for. Try to see the customers as finding you and needing you. So you're providing something that's needed. Whatever it is you feel inspired to do. I the businesses that I started before were things that I had interests in. Again, any one of those other businesses could have thrived. This one only thrived because I was also putting mindset in addition to the hard work, because I put in a lot of hard work. Hard work doesn't necessarily get you anywhere unless you can sort of identify as a success already and you can see yourself as a success already. Before I used to think, well, I couldn't say I was successful until I actually had made $1 million. So it like didn't count. Like I was pretending to be a success when I really wasn't. But you have to see yourself as a success already. And I think that anyone that has gone from rags to riches, they believed in themselves in a way that no one else could. Okay. And to get a lot more income, I want you to really map out what kind of lifestyle you want. Not what you think is possible, but what would actually be perfect for you. And then realize that, well, only you have those dreams. So why wouldn't they be meant for you? And shift to a place of feeling that it really can happen to you. You don't know how it's going to happen. You don't know when it's going to happen, but it actually can happen. Let's see. So apparently manifestations don't work with twin flames, I read. Don't know how to create better two-sided communication, so forth. Thanks. I don't think there's such thing as twin flames. I think it's a label. I don't think it exists. I mean, somebody made that up. So twin flames, manifesting doesn't work with twin flames. That's kind of absurd. It's absurd to, say that twin flames exist, and maybe a lot of you are mad right now, but like a twin flame would imply that there's only one person for you, but who picked that? Um, or if you believe in something like twin flames, and I feel like that and manifestation don't really go hand in hand, and that's probably why you read that manifestations don't work with twin flames. Because they're not really speaking of the same thing. Like if there's destiny, if our lives are pre-written, who are they written by? Some higher source that's above us, and then the source isn't within. So it kind of negates this idea of being the operant power. If I am source, then why would there be a separate source that's picking who my twin flame is? Like, it doesn't make sense. Everything and anything is manifested. It's a mirror. If you want better two-sided communication, are you feeling that in your heart right now? Are you feeling it open, or are you looking to the circumstances and feeling it closed off? What are you rehashing in your mind with this person? Are you rehashing arguments? Are you rehashing the fact that that the communication has been poor? Are you expecting bad things for yourself? Do you have poor opinions of love in general? Like, I could go on and on and on about sort of troubleshooting this, but manifesting is what you're experiencing all the time. You can't stop experiencing it. If you would like great communication, I have a communications course, but you don't necessarily have to do that. But I do at studywithveronica.com. It was my first course. I'm very proud of it. But I mean, I used to struggle with communication. And you know what mistake I always made is I kept contacting that person as if I could come up with this great idea. Like, I would plan out the messages that I was gonna say, and I would think to myself, "Well, if I could just get the words right, or if I could just send it at the right time of day, if I could just send the right funny things or the right funny words, then I would get a different response." The response was always the same because what I was bringing forth was always the same. So if you're chasing them, or if you don't feel like you're worth communication, I mean, would you communicate with you? Ask yourself what you are bringing to the table. Try not to be codependent or needing the communication from this person for dear life. And I think that things will work a lot differently for you. I mean, they did for me. I started getting communication to the point where now, I don't want to be bugged. I want to be left alone. Oh, wow. There's a lot more messages. This is so helpful. I'm so glad. I like doing these things in the moment because you can kind of tell me what you need. And whoever shows up, the right people to show up. And you're here for a reason, and I can sort of answer your questions and answer it on the spot. So how do I attract the job of my dreams? You know what the number one thing is to realize that job needs you. That job has been waiting for you. That job is You're perfect for that job. Like, a lot of times we hold things on pedestals, like, we'll hold the perfect job on the pedestal, like, that if I just have that job, my life will be so much better, so much different, I'll make a better amount of money, I'll be so happy, I'll be happy in a way that I'm not happy now, when we never consider for once that that job could need us. The job of your dreams, again, the job of your dreams is not the job of my dreams. It's not anyone else's, everybody else here is a different dream job. We all have a different one. So dreams are subjective. We all have different versions of happiness. Why wouldn't it be meant for you? You have that dream in your heart for a reason. You deserve to fulfill it. Manifesting is identifying things in life we don't have, leveling up to the point where we can be in perfect alignment with it, see ourselves with it. So I want you to relax into the assumption, when you fall asleep at night, I get to wake up and go to my perfect dream job. If you had your perfect dream job, would you wake up differently in the morning? Would you go to sleep differently in the morning? What other types of things would you do differently? Ask yourself your mental habits, how you'd feel about life. And this goes for any manifestation. So it doesn't just have to be a dream job. Like, what types of habits, mental habits, things you would focus on. Start emulating as much of that as possible right now, and the doors that are currently closed a pathway will be made. But it takes that first start within yourself to again feel like you belong there. The job needs you. You are the answer to the job's manifestation. I know the job really isn't literally manifesting, but you get the idea. I am in communication with a girl for over 2 months, but I want her to make the first move and to confirm that I will not get friend zoned. Okay. First, I mean, if you're worried about being friend zoned, maybe this has happened to you before in the past. I want you to try to find forgiveness in any situation in the past where anyone has let you down in a relationship. We want to kind of free yourself from that, from identifying that as your self concept, because that's not who you are. It's just the experiences that you had, probably because you were mindlessly manifesting. Before you know that thoughts, feelings, and sort of what you're putting out has any impact on anything, like, we're just thinking and feeling, we're kind of reacting to the world around us. We're just reacting to everything. Everyone's reacting, and we're all just kind of getting nowhere and going around in circles. So, it's totally possible to have her make the first move. What does that feel like? What would you feel like for you? Not imagining her doing it, but how would you feel as a person? Like, how would it change your identity, your sense of self? Receiving that, having that, being with that. A lot of times, especially in specific person manifesting, it has nothing to do with the other person. It has to do with you and how you feel about you, what you think life is going to give you in terms of love. And what do you think she thinks about you? Do you think they seeing you as a friend? Or do you think that she can, that you can be her perfect dream come true? Do you see yourself? I mean, you obviously see this girl as someone wonderful, but have you even thought for a second that you could be that wonderful to someone else? Just as an idea, not because if you think about it with her, you may feel resistance, but have you just thought about that as a concept? Like, wow, I can be someone else's perfect someone. I just want to give a quick shout out. Subscribe if you want to be alerted to when this next live show happens. Only subscribers can ask questions. You can't just subscribe and then unsubscribe when you're done. You have to be a subscriber. So keep that in mind. Studywithveronica.com is the free course. Okay. And oh, the special, streamlifebyveronica.com. There's 3 specials running right now. I want to attract more. We all want to attract more. And it's good to want these things. And it's fine to say, I want. Just when you're saying, I want, don't feel a sense of lack, like, oh, poor me, I will never have this. I suck. Inner self-talk means so much. How do you talk to yourself during the day? Do you talk to yourself during the day like this girl wants to be with you? Or do you talk to yourself during the day as if you're going to be stuck in the friend zone? How do you limit that negative voice that often pops in first, that pesky voice? It's not a pesky voice. It's not a voice to be angry at. The negative voice is actually your greatest teacher. It is a tool that I feel like not enough people actually look at the negative voice as something good. It's like, oh my God, that negative voice, unwanted, intrusive thoughts. How do I get rid of it? It's a horrible, pesky voice. Don't bully it out like it's trying to be heard. It's trying to protect you. That negative voice is trying to, like, it doesn't have good intentions, although it does because it's trying to protect you, but the advice it's giving you is from limitations. But listen, because if whatever it's telling you, then you know what your limiting beliefs are. And then all you have to do is recognize that, realize that you don't have to have a limiting belief, like that doesn't have to serve you. It's something that was learned. It's something that you picked up like a sponge. It doesn't have to serve you. So if a negative voice comes in, don't get angry at it because, again, that creates chaos. Don't try to replace it with 10 positive statements because then you're like exerting all of this energy. Like if a negative voice pops in and you're trying to replace it with, say, one negative statement comes in, and then you're like, well, I have to replace it with 10 positive ones. Like you're creating all this like fury within yourself for no reason. Instead, we want peace and relaxation. So when the negative voice comes in, calmly observe it, even write it down on a piece of paper, what it said. And don't be afraid to do that. Like it's not going to make that manifest. You're just recognizing it. And if you can't recognize it, you know what's going to happen when you keep trying to say the positive affirmations and keep trying to pretend like it's not there. It's going to grow in power. It's going to fester underneath the surface and it's going to want to like explode like a volcano. And it will. So I want you to calmly observe it with no judgment. Like, wow, that's a negative voice. Okay. I've been saying this to myself. Wow. Okay. So let's realize that this thought really doesn't serve me and I just see it as neutral. I don't see it as bad. When we label it as bad and like, oh my God, I'm not supposed to think this, then more negative thoughts come in. Don't let it spoil your mood. Don't let it give you a feeling like you're a bad manifester. Manifesting is not about being positive all the time. There's plenty of people with really good lives that talk really negatively. So it's more about like seeing yourself as being able to have something. So I don't know what you're manifesting. I think you asked a question before, but I can't remember what it was. Captain Biscuit 71. Manifesting clients. I think that, let's see, Sunset and Sal's Travel. It sounds like a travel agency. It sounds like fun. I like that name. Sunset and Sal's. Feels like I'm going somewhere. So manifesting clients, they need you. Try not to feel I feel like when we, like, need clients for dear life, then it puts them on a pedestal, much like the SP situation, much like the job, much like anything. When we need something for dear life, we push it away from ourselves. Clients have always come in best for me when I realize I have value. I get excited just about sort of collaborating with them, whether or not they paid me or not, and then they do pay me a lot of times more than what I would have wanted. So start to get excited about what you have to offer. Maybe it's not travel. I'm just guessing by your name, but they need you. What you have to offer is unique to you. So don't even think about competition. Again, this goes for an SP as well. No competition because you're unique and perfect just the way you are. And what you have to offer, no one else can offer it just the same way. There's no competition. Clients can flock to you. And remember, money can come from you from all sources. So try not to see clients as your only source of income. And oh my God, if I don't have a client, I'm gonna, you know, go into debt. See, money is coming to you from all sources, so it kind of takes the pressure off of needing the clients for dear life. Money can come from anywhere. Thank you, Stephen Summer. All these S's. My ex left me. I'm sorry. I think he went back to the mother of his children. I am sorry. He hasn't asked me for his house key. I miss him and the kids so much. Any advice? Well, he hasn't asked for the house key. I think that's a good thing. Look to the good things. Maybe he had some unresolved business with the mother of his children, and he needed to finally heal that so he could let her go for good in order to be with you. I want you to feel like you're drawing this person back in like a magnet. I do think he also needs to apologize to you, and I think that that's something that isn't often said, like, because we say, "Well, we're manifestors and we manifested him leaving, why should he apologize to us?" But I feel like it pumps up self-love and self-worth, and again, self-love is what's gonna make him come back because he's going to be so attracted to that radiant energy, the way you feel about yourself. So, I know you're missing him, but couldn't he be missing you? Aren't you perfect for him? What about the kids? Like, what about everybody missing you and needing you? And try not to fixate on this or try to necessarily resolve how it happens in your mind. Pick what you want him to say when he comes back and apologizes to you. And set your sights really high. Like, I think a lot of times when you want an ex to come back, like, you're willing to take them back at all costs. So you're willing to overlook the fact that they left you. Like, you're just so desperate to have them back that you're willing to, like, whatever, I just want them back. But you don't. Like, you want it to be right, you want it to be perfect. Again, he could be missing you. Focus on the best times you had together. Focus on you deserving this to be made right, and focus on all the ways he's gonna make it up to you, your very high standards, and what the new life together looks like. Okay. I want to live in a house and be a mother and have a kitchen island and be able to travel to beautiful places. I love that. I love that you gave me this beautiful description of what you want because I feel like not enough people write that in comments like this. Instead, I get all these circumstances and people tell me about all the awful things they're going through. But this was like a beautiful description of what you can envision yourself with. So I would encourage more people to do that. Like, we need to be focusing more on what we want, not what we fear. Love, not hate. It's so obvious, yet so simple, yet so hard for most people to do, to implement. I think it's hard to do because people figure it won't get me anywhere. I can focus on what I love and I'm still gonna have circumstances, so why even bother? Try it out. Can I just practice law of assumption? Law of assumption, law of attraction, manifestation, new thought, it's all the same thing. So you are practicing law of assumption already. You've been practicing law of assumption your whole life. I don't tend to use that term because I feel like it got really like trendy as like something new, but it's something that always existed. So I I don't know, it kind of gets under my skin in that way. So like you don't really see me using that term because it's almost like it's being implied that it's something brand new and something different from law of attraction. And again, like I said about the twin flames, and that they don't exist. I'm sure there's people right now that are saying, "You're wrong, Veronica. They're different." They're not. Let's keep it as simple and as basic as possible. Different people have different terminology. I mean, if you've ever heard Abraham Hicks, like, she's got all these fancy words. The vortex. I'm not even really sure what the vortex is. but she's got all these fancy words. And different people have different words for things, and some people call it law of assumption, some people call it law of attraction, some people call it manifesting. Um, I don't know, like, what did the people used to call it back in the day? No. Please go please go where? Please go straight to the point. I don't know if that's to me or someone else. I can't get my vibration up due to depression and actual pressing problems. You know what? You don't have to have a high vibe to manifest. As I said before a little while ago, you don't have to be a super positive person to manifest either. If you are having depression, I would first and foremost say take care of yourself, see a professional therapist if the depression is really that bad. Some people say they have depression and they're just really bummed out because their life sucks. So some people have real clinical depression, and then some people, you know, they're just bummed out because life sucks. That was like me, like, I was depressed, I was bummed out because life sucked. I didn't actually have depression, but there are really people that really do have depression. So I wanna make that very clear. And again, I'm not a trained therapist, I have no degrees in therapy, and my degrees are all art degrees, and I have many, many, many of them. Art, music, film, all of that. I don't have any therapy degrees. So I'm just talking from my own experience. I had pressing problems and I cried every single day when I was stuck in a motel, my house going to be foreclosed. I was going to lose all of my belongings and my cats. I was depressed. I was upset. I was crying and I made it through it, and a pathway was made for absolute perfection for me to rise above all of these circumstances. I remember I made $7,000 in like 6 weeks. I thought that was a lot of money. I don't think it's so much money anymore, but at that time, after being completely poor and then making $7,000 in like 6 weeks, that was huge. And things got better for me. I got a little home. I got all my cats. I saved all my belongings. And I didn't actually go into foreclosure. I sold it on a short sale. So a foreclosure never happened on my credit report. But you don't have to have your vibe up. You need strength. When you're going through those pressing problems, you need strength. And be that inner support system that, what, somehow, some way things are going to get better. I don't know how, but feel like a guardian angel is watching over you. It's the best advice I can give to you. All right, we're going to close up, but we're going to continue on Instagram, Veronica Isles. No dot, no Z at the end, no anything, just Veronica Isles. Find me there. All right. I love you all. Studywithveronica.com is the free course. Dreamlifebyveronica.com are all of the wonderful specials. And the 25-day love challenge coaching special will be expiring and will not be coming back. So don't miss it. Have a good one. See you later.